Hello students, welcome to this class. As you all know that due to the lockdown situation, it is not possible to continue the classes offline in the regular mode. So, we have started online classes for you. I will be teaching you science, and in today's video first we will see the contents and later on we will discuss some topics as well. So without any further delay, let's get started. Today we are going to discuss the second chapter, that is microorganisms, friend and foe. Now the question arises, why they are called friend and at the same time foe, that is enemy? So let us understand this by beginning with the term microorganisms. What are microorganisms? We see several kinds of plants and animals around us, but there are other living organisms also around us, which we cannot see with our naked eye. They are so small, so micro, they can be seen only under microscope, and hence they are called microorganisms. Let's see the definition of microorganisms. Those organisms which are too small to be seen without a microscope are called microorganisms. Types of microorganisms. Microorganisms can be classified into 5 groups. These are bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa and viruses. Let's discuss one by one. Bacteria. In singular, bacterium. They are the simplest microorganisms and are unicellular. Unicellular means single-celled. They are found in different shapes like rod shape, spiral shape, spherical shape, etc. Almost all bacteria are invisible to the naked eye. Next, algae, in singular, alga. They are simple plant-like organisms. Some of them are unicellular like Chlamydomonas, while some others are multicellular like Spirogyra. They are found in water. They possess chlorophyll and can prepare their own food. Students, as alga contain chlorophyll, so they are able to make their own food. Moving ahead, protozoa, in singular, protozoan. They are unicellular microorganisms which cannot prepare their own food. They are heterotrophs. For example, amoeba, paramecium, plasmodium, etc. Fungi, singular, fungus. They are plant-like organisms which are mostly saprophytes, while some are parasites. They may be unicellular like yeast and multicellular like mushroom. Moving ahead, viruses, in singular, virus. They are the smallest microorganisms that can only be seen under an electron microscope. They are made up of genetic material surrounded by a protein coat. They can only multiply inside a living host cell. Outside the host cell, a virus does not show any characteristic of a living thing. Viruses are said to be neither living nor non-living organisms. Bacteriophage, influenza viruses are some examples of that. As I told you students, microorganisms are useful as well as harmful to us. So let's see how they are. Some microorganisms are useful to us in several ways. In preparation of food items, a bacterium called lactobacillus is useful in making curd from milk. Cheese and paneer are made by using lactobacillus. Yeast, a fungus, is used to make bread, cakes, idlis, etc. Commercial uses of microorganisms. Microorganisms are also used in the large-scale production of some substances. Some of the commercial uses are as follows. Yeast is used in the commercial production of wine and beer. Yeast is grown on natural sugars present in grains of barley, wheat, rice, fruit juices, etc. They convert sugar into alcohol. The process of breaking down of sugar into an acid or alcohol by the action of microbes is called fermentation. Some bacteria help in the ripening of tea leaves. Yeast is an important source of vitamin B complex. Some other uses of microorganisms includes in increasing the fertility of soil, in preparation of antibiotics, and in preparation of vaccines. In increasing the fertility of soil, rhizobium bacteria are present in the root nodules of leguminous plant like pea, bean, etc. These bacteria are able to fix atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into suitable forms like nitrates. Some bacteria and plug-in alga living in the soil can also fix atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates. These microbes are commonly called biological nitrogen fixers. In preparation of antibiotics, antibiotics are medicines that kill or stop the growth of disease-causing microorganisms. Microorganisms are used in the preparation of antibiotics. Penicillin was the first antibiotic discovered by Alexander Fleming in the year 1928. In preparation of vaccines, vaccines are dead or weakened microorganisms that are introduced in the body. The weakened microorganisms do not harm the body. They induce the formation of antibodies that fight against disease and develop immunity. This process is called vaccination. Now, we will study some harmful microorganisms which can cause diseases and can also spoil our food, clothes, etc. Microorganisms can cause diseases in both plants and animals. Some animals and plant diseases and their agents are listed in the table. Disease-causing microorganisms in humans. Pathogens cause diseases in humans. These diseases are called communicable diseases as they can spread from one person to another. Pathogens enter the human body through the air we breathe, food we eat, water we drink, through direct contact with a sick person, or through carriers like insects like mosquito, flies, etc. Moving ahead with the next topic, food preservation. Food gets spoiled when it is attacked by microorganisms. Spoiled food gives off foul smell and tastes bad. Sometimes its color may even change. Eating spoiled food can cause food poisoning. Food poisoning can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Microorganisms require air, water, and warmth for growth. Food can be prevented from getting spoiled by preventing the growth of microorganisms. The process by which spoilage of food is prevented is called food preservation. Let us discuss some commonly used methods of food preservation. Methods of food preservation. Drying. In this method, moisture content of food is reduced by drying in the sun to prevent the growth of microorganisms. This process is called dehydration. Freezing or refrigeration. Freezing stops the growth and multiplication of microorganisms and thus helps to preserve them. Pasteurization. This method is generally used to preserve milk. In this method, milk is heated about 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds and then cooled quickly. This sudden change in temperature kills microorganisms and prevents their growth. Honey, beer, wine and juices are also preserved using this method. Salting and adding sugars. Salt and sugar are natural preservatives. The cells of microbes lose water on addition of salt and sugar, thereby inhibiting their growth. By using of chemicals. Chemicals like citric acid, sodium benzoate and potassium metabisulfate are used as preservatives to preserve jams, squashes, etc. Advantages of food preservation. It reduces the wastage of food by avoiding its spoilage. It helps to retain the nutritive value of food to a great extent. It ensures the food availability during off-season and at distant places. The cyclic process by which nitrogen is fixed, used by plants and animals, and then returned to the atmosphere is called nitrogen cycle. Important processes in the nitrogen cycle include nitrogen fixation, nitrogen assimilation, ammonification, nitrification, and denitrification. The atmosphere of Earth contains approximately 78% nitrogen. However, this atmospheric nitrogen has limited availability for biological use, leading to a scarcity of usable nitrogen. This atmospheric nitrogen must be processed or fixed to be used by plants. The conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into a form which is readily available to plants is called nitrogen fixation. It is an important step in the nitrogen cycle for supply of this essential nutrient. With this, we complete the beautiful and interesting chapter, Microorganisms, Friend and Foe. Hope you have enjoyed the class, students. Thank you. Take care.